This one definitely takes the cake for the worst executed exercise. First, we need to go back to the joint movement range and see in which range will the body cheat less. The spine twist is about rotating the upper body on a neutral spine and pelvis, exactly like the chest lift with rotation. The upper spine can rotate roughly 30 degrees to each side. Starting at the top is upper back flexion. The more the spine is flexed, the less you can rotate. Then the lower back and arms react to make it look like you are rotating more. If the hamstrings are tight, it will pull the lower back into flexion and the next core, the upper back. If that is the case, do the exercise on a higher surface like a few pillows or a chair for you to see the true movement of the spine. My hamstrings have relative flexibility, so I have no excuse for this posture, which will be a definite cheat and a weakness. Now, with the sitting position, gravity is pushing the spine down and therefore locking the abdominals in a shortened position that will make it hard to extend the back into a neutral spine position. Then trying to maintain the correct posture while the abdominals are pulling you in the opposite direction. Rectus abdominis is the culprit in the second gear muscle, and the first gear muscles are the upper back extensors. But if the front side is locked, you can strengthen the first gear as much as you like. The posture will not improve that much until you release the locked muscles. Ding ding! Now the muscle map will start to make sense with the two columns. Step 1 is to release the locked muscles via fascia release, and step 2, strengthen the first gear muscles. Sometimes when you ask a client to sit up tall, they try to look taller by picking up their shoulders. The next one is shoulder blade elevation or hitch. As I'm rotating to the right, you can see it with my left shoulder, and it's cheating even more because of gravity. The cheating muscle with shoulder blade hitch is levator scapular, but can also include the mobilizing function of the upper trapezius, as it's a mobilizer and a stabilizer. To fix this problem, we have to strengthen in the opposite direction, so to the lower scapula, which is the lower trapezius. Lower back flexion. Like in the explanation of the upper back flexion, see first by eliminating the hamstrings if you still see lower back flexion. The second gear muscle that is cheating in the sitting position is the mobilizing function of the psoas, where the first gear muscle, the multifidus, should actually be doing the job of pulling the lumbar spine back to neutral. Lower back rotation is the next cheat. You can see that when I'm in rotation, my one leg gets shorter than the other. That means that dissociation or separating the upper back rotation from the lower back rotation is not taking place. Why the lower back is rotating with the upper back is because of the first gear muscles on the other side. So that would be the side of the shorter leg that needs to be strengthened. These muscles are internal obliques, glute med, and glute max. Last one is lower back side bend. As you can see, as I rotate to the side, the spine does a side bend, collapsing on the side I'm turning towards. while the other side is longer than normal. It is also notable by the creases in my top, the arm line that is on a diagonal, and the hip hitch, transferring the weight to the other bum. Both sides should be equal while we turn on the axis of the spine. So the side I'm turning towards, the QL is dominant, which is the second key muscle for this movement. And when you focus on the first key muscles, of course, on the other side, which are the iliacus, the obliques, and the QL, the body will equal out the spine and the weight placement will be different.